Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Ben Sorensen's Real Country Interviews, bringing you the stars of country.
It's Ben Sorensen here, and, well, one of my favourite artists who really does things a little bit differently in the best way possible. Of course, I'm talking about the guy that I'm interviewing today, the man that used to have a beard, Ball Aitken. How are you, mate?
Good, thanks, Ben. And yourself?
I'm all right. You know, I am a little. I feel a little lonely, mate. I feel like I'm upholding the beardedness for both of us.
Mate, I've still got mine in a bag after the world's greatest shave, and I can glue it back on, no probs.
Well, you know what? If ever I was going to shave my beard off, I reckon that'd be a really, really good cause to do it for.
It took me about 10 years to grow the beard, and it took less than 5 minutes to cut it off.
Well, you know, and the World's Greatest Shave does some really, really good stuff, and the Leukemia Foundation does some really, really good stuff to help those in need, as well as raising much-needed awareness. So tell me your story and how you got involved with it.
I had a friend that died of leukemia, so I decided to give the world's greatest shave a go, and I wanted to keep my hair because it takes a lot longer to grow, and people asked me how much would it take to cut off the hair, and I said probably only 5 million.
Yeah.
But people were generous, and I did it in the main street of Tamworth. I shaved off the beard, and so far I've raised over $4,000, and I did it at the Tamworth Country Music Festival because I figured there'd be the most people hanging around, and they'd have a few beers and they'd be ready to throw their money in the tin, and it worked out really good, really good.
Wow. So, do you feel naked without it?
Oh, I'll put it this way: I'm singing a lot smoother since the shave. The notes are just rolling out. It's working for me.
Love it, love it. Now, something else that's working for you is your fantastic new album, which I am so keen on. You got extended versions of all my favourite songs, which I love. It's called Alive in Tamworth, and I love it, mate. It's good.
Oh, thank you. Look, I've cut 4 studio albums, and this is my 5th one, so I figured now's the time for the live album. And basically, my people that come to my gigs keep asking for the long versions of my songs. Because, you know, I crank over 200 gigs a year live. And when you do that, you know, your whole live gig turns into something else. And I started off with 3-minute songs, and some of them go for like between 8 minutes or up to 13, 14 minutes. So my Crocodile song and my Pitbull song, my Outback Booty Call, they all got the whole
extended version.
The full stories with the whole deal with them. And it's one of those albums I had to make, mate, because a live album that delivers and has the stories and has the fun and has the crowd interacting, I think that's really a big part of what I do, and it's just a lot of fun.
And I think fun's really the right way to sum it up, because you put it on and it's a party from start to finish, and definitely a must for everyone's CD collection. And one of the songs on there, now I always get the order wrong here. It's Chocolate, Jack Daniels, and LSD. Is that the right order?
Yeah, you got it, mate. Well done.
There we go. Great song. What a story in that.
Mate, it's an anti-drug bush ballad. It's basically a song that explains, you know, 3 things that you shouldn't mix together. It's a lethal combo, and people would be doing all right if they just had the Jack Daniels and the LSD, but late at night, you know, they have to get into the chocolate.
Yeah, it's dangerous stuff,
It's them up the edge, and it just doesn't. It gets a bit messy after that.
Yeah, it doesn't end well. Doesn't end well. And the video clip's pretty cool as well, which we will be playing after this interview. Now, that's a little bit different to most of the country clips that are out there. The whole animation thing, I love it.
Put it this way, we couldn't take the trip where it needed to go with just regular footage, so we went down the animation route just for the explosion of colour and the excitement of it.
almost like a Wizard of Oz style clip.
Oh, cool. That's a good way of looking at it.
Well,
It's just an explosion of colour, and it's a wild thing that had to be made.
yeah, well, you remember Wizard of Oz? In the beginning it was black and white, and then they splurged into colour when she got into Oz.
Ah, that makes sense. I haven't seen that one for years.
Yeah, well, it's an incentive to get it back out. It's pretty cool.
Worth a look, okay.
Worth a look, especially if you're on chocolate, LSD, and Jack Daniels. That'd be made the movie even more fun. Yeah. It's a fantastic clip. The song is great, but before we go to it, tell me about the guitars on the back wall that I'm spying.
Oh, look, this has got some of my wild gear up here. You can see the Flaming Beast.
Yep.
My Strat, a Jag, another Strat, and a Telly, and some of my axes of choice.
Ah, wonderful.
Instruments of fun and country music.
Well, it is absolutely amazing to talk to you, mate. The album Alive in Tamworth is one that every 8-Ball Aitken fan should definitely get. And if you're not a fan yet, what are you doing? You can't call yourself a country fan unless you're into 8-Ball Aitken. You've got to get your hands on this album. It is brilliant, and I like the single and the video clip. Chocolate, Jack Daniels, and LSD, if I still got it in the right order. But they're three things you should never mix together, and we're going to go to the video clip right now to explain exactly why. Thank you very much, 8-Ball.
Thanks, Ben. Cheers, mate.
She was born in the village, NYC, raised on the airplane, the dead and free. She traveled across the country to Haight-Ashbury, then Hawaii to Australia, which is where she met me. And she learned a lot of cool things up at Yale, like how to protest about the war and the whale. But the best advice she ever gave to me is never mix chocolate, Jack Daniels, and LSD, because it'll make your head hurt more than you can stand, and your eyes will see things you can't comprehend. Then the walls will start grinning and spinning around till you wake up tomorrow face down in the ground. She no longer smokes dope or eats vegetarian. In fact, she started singing hymns at the Presbyterian. She said she's glad she did drugs artistically, but never mix chocolate, Jack Daniels, and LSD, because it'll make your head hurt more than you can stand, and your mind will think things you can't comprehend. Then the walls will start talking and walking around till you wake up tomorrow face down in the ground. She was born in the village, NYC, never mix chocolate, Jack Daniels, and LSD.
Another Ben Sorensen Real Country interview. Hear this interview and many more at www.realcountrymix.com.